EVE Online's only source for news from Notoras. Thursday, February 27th, 2020. Notoras, your one-stop shop for Caldari Blueprint Originals. The Galente Federation's occupation is entering its 8th month. No end in sight. One state protectorate pilot entered system this week by the name of Seas. Trigger Happy took about 5 million in loot. The small crocite anomaly timed out this morning. We're expecting a new one to show up tomorrow or Sunday. Anomalies and Galente combat sites seem very slim in Notoras at the moment, down 30% or so. There have been 0 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Notoras. Here's hoping for another week. Local residents, Space Oddities join us, here and after referred to as Soju, got their pants pulled down this week something fierce. Trigger Happy and Pin Is Out have really been farming these poor guys. Not to be crass, but you Soju gentlemen could stop feeding them. You're making it hot for the rest of us. Now on to the obituaries. Vero Null in a worm, soloed by Smarter Van in a Proteus. I'm not saying a worm isn't tough, but that Proteus is fighting under its weight class. Soju, Soju, Soju. Bong Yuisen in a Caracal, taken down by a Lachesis and a Kikimora. Soju feeding a Procurer, feeding a Coveter, feeding an Orca. This is a nothing kill. Soju feeding a Porpoise. Our Caldari Navy pilot, just trying to do the right thing, paid for it with his ship. And our hometown boys, Soju, get a solo kill. Maybe we won't dwell on that kill mail. Maybe we'll just end it on a high note. In other news, the same advertisement has been playing all over system for months now. I haven't spoken to anyone that even remembers a different advertisement. Everyone thinks that they are broken. In market news, there were no transactions in system this week. There were also no changes to the only item available in system this week. EVE Online's only source for news from Notoras. Saturday, February 29th, 2020. Today is Leap Day. And Notoras is the best place in New Eden to sink your risk on Caldari Blueprint Originals. In Anomaly News, today brought 4 data sites, 1 relic site, 5 wormholes, 1 combat site, and 1 anomaly yet to be identified. This is a welcome upswing in anomaly frequency in Notoras. However, the local capsuleers were disappointed with the lack of rare minerals available to be mined. In local politics, Hikapas Hia, the CEO of Lie Protection Services, has been accused of marital infidelity with a Galente prostitute by a source who wishes to remain silent until his book deal is finalized and his book signing tour is scheduled. Today, K. El Kira's corpse was found outside of Notoras 3, Caldari Navy Assembly Plant. Likely a self-destruction, but authorities are not ruling out foul play. Yesterday, a capsuleer from the state protectorate by the name of Tuthoidea visited system in an algos, very much encouraging the local populace. However, Frederick Mufasa got the jump on him at a combat site and took about 80 million in loot. Also yesterday, my car ISK died to a clone soldier transport in an asteroid belt. Again. Local rumor has it that he's trying to fill a graveyard with his own corpses. In market news, 2 new items became available in the system. Liquid ozone and Sino-field generators have been made available at very inflated prices. That brings our local market up to 3 items total. In sports news, Princess MJ tops the Notoras kill board this week with 6 confirmed kills. The Kikimora was the best performing ship this week with 4 kills. The most probable place to die this week in Notoras was Planet 6, Moon 14. This is due in no small part to the lack of mindfulness being showed by the local moon farmers. And that's the news from Notoras, where the fun never stops and the sun never sets on a capsuleer. EVE Online's only source for news from Notoras. Monday, March 2nd, 2020. Notoras, the most luxurious vacation destination in New Eden. Notoras is seeing more and more state protectorate representation, and many are making it out alive. However, Tuthoidea lost another Algos just today. He was soloed by a capsuleer named Unknown Error in a Rook. A Rook costs 240 million ISK for the hull. An Algos goes for about 1.2 million ISK. The Rook pilot would need to fight 200 Algoses simultaneously to punch his own weight. In sports news, a guy with a broadcasting degree who is 5'8" has very strong opinions about how a 7-foot-tall professional should play basketball. In podcast news, the new Less Than 10 podcast is out and available now on Podbean. It is still the #1 podcast in Notoras, and their 20th episode was very well received. Talking in Stations was able to interview CCP Ratati and CCP Muppet Hunter. While it would be irresponsible for them to be completely forthcoming with future plans, it is still nice to hear their opinions and concerns on a variety of topics, including intelligence gathering counterplay,
which is a subject that could not be more important to the future of New Eden. Good news in the market today. The local market in Notoras is still growing with the addition of scordite, kernite, and luminous kernite. This fully doubles our available market items, bringing our total to 6 unique items for sale. The suspension of federal elections by the Gallente due to supposed terrorist attacks is just another example of the dishonesty and disregard for civility that is ubiquitous among the Gallente culture as a whole. Said one local resident, and I quote, "Good. The Gallente people individually and as a whole can fillet themselves to death." End quote. In anomaly news, there was disappointment across the solar system when the news broke that there would be no rare mining opportunities in the most recent permutation. Notoras hasn't seen a drought like this in months. There has been no update as to what is wrong with the billboards. If something doesn't change soon, I'm just going to lose my shit. And that's the news from Notoras. Come visit Notoras and experience the beauty of our orbital bodies carefully. EVE Online's only source for news from Notoras. March 4th, 2020. Notoras, where the journey is the destination. Our lead story today, a large Hedbergite, Hemorphite, and Jaspit anomaly arrived in system much to the relief of local industrialists. Today in sports, Edmund Kim overtook Princess MJ as our current kill leader. In the last 48 hours, he's put up 4 kills in Notoras, 18 kills total, 4 solo kills. Said a local sports fan, and I quote, "I'd suck a fart out of Kim's ass like ripping a bong." End quote. Needless to say, Edmund Kim's popularity in Notoras has never been higher. In market news, the standard ores on the market sold, bringing much needed revenue to the local economy. And now to the Notoras obituaries. Space Marines lost a jackdaw and his capsule yesterday to a Loki and a claw. He was ratting in an asteroid belt. WLSD-32 credited for the kill. My car Isk died twice to an NPC. I know I give Soju a hard time, but the truth is it's great to see young players out here in LowSec where they belong. Today, Valhall Zavadskoy lost a wreath to Edmund Kim and 4 others on the gate. The same gang claimed Bolton Hleb's Osprey Navy issue and capsule in the same encounter. If that was bait, it worked. In local politics, it seems doubtful that the people who get bribed for a living are going to pick the guy whose whole platform is to end bribes. And that is the news from Notoras. Come visit Notoras, where our asteroids are Isk looking for a home.